Hello everyone, Kirsten here. So, as I am filming through this camera right now, the 4th of July has ended, and I have realized that I have not filmed a monthly favorites video of June, so I figured, hey, why not go ahead and begin with another little monthly favorites video. So, without further ado, I am just gonna go ahead and dive right on into these 10 questions. Question number 1 is, what is the funniest thing that has happened to you? To be fair, a lot of the funniest moments that happened throughout the month, I ended up getting a pretty good laugh out of some of my grandfather's jokes, so I would say that is definitely a start. I really can't name them all simply because they were all random and I really can't remember all of them, but they were absolutely funny and I absolutely had a pretty good laugh at almost each and every single one. Question number 2 is, what books did you read? So I had time to finish reading at least one book this month, and that is the Bad Girls Don't Die by, I believe, Katie Alexander. For some weird reason, I've heard a lot about this book and I decided to give it a pretty good read sometime during the month of June. So I'm glad I decided to pick this up when I did, and I have not regretted a single moment that I actually got to pick up this book. I actually went ahead and read it. There was a lot of creepy moments and there was also some pretty cute moments in this book as well. So I highly recommend this book if you do get into like psychological possession type of horror related stories. So this is definitely a very enjoyable read for me and couldn't say more. Question number 3 is, what movies / TV shows have you watched? So I had a chance to watch a pretty good fair amounts of movies and a few TV shows this month. So to begin with the TV shows, I got to watch Game of Thrones season 6 with my grandmother. And I finally got to finish watching Supernatural season 12, which that is pretty much done and over with until the newest one comes out next month, I believe. No, wait, excuse me, not next month, next year. So, hey, at this point, I'm like, I can go ahead and wait. I'm not that desperate, honestly, but it's a very good TV show. Both of them are really good TV shows. In terms of movies that I have watched, I got to watch Get Out, which was a really interesting horror film. I surprisingly liked that movie so much. Another movie I also got to watch that I did not think I was gonna like, to be honest, and that movie is, of course, A Cure for Wellness. There's just something about that movie that kind of interests me very much. I think it had something to do with like psychiatric wards and mental hospitals type of things. When it comes to horror films or just any sort of thriller, intense related movies, I usually like anything that revolves around mental hospitals for some weird reason. I had low expectations for that movie and I enjoyed the shit out of that movie so much. I also got to watch Southpaw with Rachel McAdams, and it's kind of like one of those boxing, wrestling type of movies. Normally I don't get into sports related movies, but sometimes I get into wrestling stories and even boxing type of movies, which some of them are pretty interesting, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. And I also got to watch Indiscretion, which definitely held me by the edge of my seat the whole entire time. All these movies and TV shows that I got to watch this month, I was not overall disappointed. I am glad I got a chance to enjoy every single one of these movies. Question number 4 is, what is something you did that made you proud of yourself? So I'm very proud of the fact that this month I have been a little bit more active this month lately, and the fact that I've been losing a little bit more weight because of that. I do feel very proud that I've been a lot more energized, a lot more active lately, so that is definitely something I had high considerations of. Question number 5 is, what games have you been playing this month? So this month I didn't really get a chance to play any sort of video games. I mean, obviously, because I'm on vacation currently at the moment, but on my phone, however, I have been playing a game called Mahjong, I think. It's a pretty interesting game and I'm pretty addicted to it. I don't know why, but it gets me thinking and keeping me on track, I guess. I don't know, it's just a very interesting game to play. I'm not gonna lie. Question number 6 is, did you travel anywhere? I, of course, went to a few places in particular, definitely for sure. I went down to Indianapolis, where I did a little bit of shopping and went out to nice little restaurants and things like that. I had a chance to go down south to southern part of Indiana just to visit my mother, and we also went to Marengo Cave while I was down there, which was also pretty interesting. And I also have been into Fort Wayne 2 times. One was for, I think, shopping, and then the other was for when I went into some sort of art fair that they were holding down there as well. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So yeah, those were my travel events for this month. Question number 7 is, what foods did you try and loved? So there was quite a few things of food that I got to try out this month that I thought were really delicious to eat. The first that came at the top of my head was that I got to try out some jackfruit for the first time. It was by the Jackfruit Company, to be exact. I think the first time I've tried jackfruit was I was making like vegan tacos, and I decided to eat some jackfruit instead of like tofu crumbles for like my tacos. That was pretty good. First time I've had jackfruit, and honestly I'm very pleased. I also got to try out Ben & Jerry's dairy-free ice cream, which is honestly so delicious. I got to try out, I believe, the Chunky Monkey, and the other is, I think, some form of chocolate chips, I think. I also got to try out Daya's dairy-free mac and cheese, which was honestly pretty interesting, I think. You would definitely need to add in little bits of flavor and some vegetables that comes along with it, but other than that, it's pretty good for the most part, I'm not gonna lie. I also got to try out the Lara bar for the first time, which was honestly really delicious. I got to try out the apple pie one, and honestly, the moment I tried it, I was automatically in heaven. Like, that stuff is awesome. I also got to try out LaCroix's coconut flavored sparkling water, which is honestly also pretty good. It's really refreshing. I love sparkling water. And I also got to try out, I believe, pomegranate juice sparkling water as well from Trader Joe's, which was honestly really good. I also got to try out, I think, chimichurri rice, which is kind of like a little French dish of some kind, which was honestly pretty good for the most part. I actually did enjoy it very, very much. I also got to try out portobello mushroom burgers, which were also pretty good. I also got to try out Papa John's pizza for the first time, and honestly, that was the best tasting pizza I've ever had. I wouldn't even mind if I ordered it again. And last but definitely not least, I got to try out soy chorizo for the first time. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty good for the most part. The only complaint I have about it is the fact that it was so overpoweringly spicy that I just could not stand to eat the rest of it for some weird reason. But all in all, it was pretty good flavors, honestly. So those were the things I got to try out and actually loved. Question number 8 is, what songs have you been listening to the most? So few things in particular, well actually 2 things I got to listen to this month. The first one being is I got to listen to Black Sky by Arrow to Athens, which I actually discovered on YouTube, and I actually downloaded it through my phone, and honestly that is a pretty interesting song if I do say so myself. And last but definitely not least, something I was so hyped and so excited for, I have been listening to the Birthday Massacre's newest album, which is Under Your Spell. I enjoyed listening to each and every single one of their new songs, which was honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it was very catchy. I got to listen to that song for like weeks at a time. I was just so hooked, so addicted to that song. It was just crazy. Question number 9 is, what are your favorite items for the whole entire month? So I do have some favorite items that I would love to share, but I can't share them, at least not just yet. Although, I do have one thing I would really like to share with you guys. I'm sure you guys have seen this before, but basically, it's these little disc things, right? And basically what you do is you just pull them back and you just hold them in place in between your fingers so your phone doesn't automatically slip from your hands. And honestly, I've done this so many times where I would just accidentally drop my phone in front of my face or on the floor sometimes, so this has been really handy for me to use. So I am not complaining. I really do like this little thing. So final question at number 10 is, what is something that you have learned? Well, honestly, I hate to admit this, but I feel like I haven't learned jack shit, honestly. I mean, I did get to learn a few things from Marengo Cave that I thought was interesting, but not interesting enough to share, you know what I mean? Like, it's really interesting how like caves form and things like that, so I suppose that counts of something that I have learned for the whole entire month of June, so I would say that kind of counts. But other than that, I feel like I haven't learned shit. So that is pretty much it for everything I had to share on what has been my absolute favorite for the month of June. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video so much. So if you did, be sure to sucker punch that like button down below. And of course, if you haven't already, please do dedicate the time and effort to subscribe to my lovely channel, to become a part of my army of darkness, and of course, you will be updated with a brand new video every single Friday, Saturday now, as well as Sundays, every single weekend. So that is pretty much it. If you guys are interested in following me outside of YouTube, all of my social medias will be listed in the description box right down below if you are indeed interested. And again, thank you guys so much for watching and sticking to the end of this video. You guys are so awesome for doing that. So with that all being said, have a completely chill week, an awesome day or night, and I will talk to you all soon in the next video. So until then, stay completely dark and so fucking brutal and awesome, my friends. So take care. Bye for now.